Hello, my name is Abdurman, and I'm a member of Weston Library's Youth Advisory Group. We're here today with June Thomson as a part of Weston Library's Centenary project. June Thompson is a resident of the Weston community, and we'll be interviewing her today. Thank you for being with us today.
My pleasure.
When did you first arrive in Weston?
I was born in a house on Weston Road. Yeah, it's a church now, I believe. It was a theater. And before that there was a house, and that's where I was born. And that's 81 years ago.
What are your earliest memories of the Weston community?
My grandparents lived at 36 of Station Street, where Mike Sullivan has his office. That was their home.
Yeah.
And next door was the blacksmith shop. And as a child, I hung around the blacksmith shop and watched them shoe horses and watched them at the forge. And I was really, there was a lot of kids hung out there watching.
Yeah.
And on the east side of the street, there were sheep in the fields.
The Weston's changed. Yeah. And what was life like when it was a village instead of just a neighborhood?
Well, right where the house is next door was an apple orchard. And of course, much slower pace and very few cars. There was the milkmen had horses and the bakers that sort of thing. So there was horse and buggies on the street. And there was an apple orchard across the road, a little cottage across the road actually. And in the winter, we had sleigh rides. And it was very friendly. You knew everybody in town, pretty much.
Small town.
Small town feeling, And it was nice.
And are there any certain areas in the Weston area that stand out to you till today?
Well, the library for one, it's nice, and the churches are still there. It's nice to see those. The Westminster Church used to be down on Weston Road. Actually, I remember Lawrence was called Dufferin in those days. Dufferin and Main Street.
Wow.
So I think it was number 12 Main Street, the house where I was born.
And you said you attended a York Artists Guild at the Weston Library?
Well, the York Artists Guild met down at the municipal offices at 2700 Edmonton. But we had a show at the library one time, and a show of paintings. And the mayor of the borough of York commissioned this painting of the library. And in 1988, he commissioned the Christmas card. He knew I was a local artist of some renown, and he wanted the library because it was a significant building in the community. But he wanted it to look Christmassy. I sat down by in front of the church, and I took some photos and sketched it. But the people are just imaginary. I just made up people to go in it to make it cheerful and Christmassy. That was what the mayor requested. But it was nice to, when I painted the building, I appreciated some of the lovely detail over the windows and door. So, and the lovely stone wall in the front. I can't even tell if that's still there.
Yeah, it is.
It is? Okay, that's good. Yeah, watercolor is my favorite medium. But I've taught acrylic and oils as well. I often go to the fish and chip store just up the road from there. And of course, Ward's funeral parlor was a big part of the life in Weston here. Everybody went to Ward sooner or later. Mostly later.
And what do they do, the York Artists Guild?
Oh, they met every Thursday night and had different teachers and painters. And I haven't belonged for the last 6 years, so I'm not familiar with what they're doing at the moment. But it was a group that welcomed people in, and I think they worked there. There was no charge for the classes.
So it was free art classes for everyone. And you have a passion for water painting. Can you just tell us a bit about that? Your favorite painting, perhaps, that you've done?
Well, I've been painting for 50 years, I guess, and I've been teaching for 31 years. I studied at the Ontario College of Art and at Humber College. And I'm still teaching, and certainly it's been my passion.
And I noticed this painting over here, right behind us. Would you like to tell us more about it?
That's interesting. It's not actually on paper. It's on a material called Yupo, and it's a smooth paper, and the colors seem to float around on the top, so that at any time you could take it and wipe the color off. So it's quite an interesting paper, or not a paper. It's a plastic surface. But it's mostly from imagination.
Great painting.
Yeah, they're not necessarily. My paintings are often not necessarily from a real subject. It's just that I've traveled so much in Ontario and seen so many rural scenes, and they're etched in my mind. So it's to recall them. It's just a matter of color and shape and values.
So those are all the questions that I have for you today. Is there anything else you would like to share with us?
Well, I've always enjoyed living in Weston. I'm disappointed with the business section. It used to be a beautiful gathering place for people, and it seems to be, it doesn't have the same feel as it did. When I was in high school, the high school kids used to gather at a restaurant down on Weston Road called the Meetup. And there was a Metropole restaurant. Central Lunch was pivotal too. I would like to see better quality stores in the Western area, and something. I don't know, just.
Yeah. So thank you for being with us today, and this is just a token from the Weston Library.
Oh, thank you.
It's a token of our appreciation.
Thank you.